I'll get this out of the way real quick. That's a mea culpa unlike I've ever had to issue after a game. There's nothing about that game that happened the way I thought it would. I think there were some missed opportunities by the Patriots, but not a lot. For large stretches of that game, they got thoroughly outplayed. And in the second half, they got thoroughly outplayed on both sides of the ball. I thought once the Chiefs smelled
secondary did really horrible in the
when
fucking
they took the lead,
second half.
27, they smelled it, and suddenly they couldn't keep anybody out of the backfield.
Nope.
Every pass was rushed and hurried.
Gillisley was getting blown up.
Hunt was running.
Gets stuffed on the fourth downs. Give Kansas City all the credit here. And I'm not just saying because I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm just saying they came here, and they clearly were the only 53 guys that thought they could win. And they went out and
50.
And they won. Correct. They not only beat you, they beat you with only 51
They didn't have enough players, and they still whooped you.
Well, I am somewhat stunned.
And the biggest...
They did a really good job, though.
Sure. To me is that. The way at the end, they just looked gassed.
Well, they gave up.
You know, the last time we saw this team on the field, the whole story was the other team got gassed. They couldn't keep up. You know, we're going to take over now. You still have that field out there with a hill on it where you're supposedly do conditioning in the summer. You were not the better conditioned team tonight.
No.
You fell apart late emotionally and cardiovascular-wise.
Hey, didn't you still think, as bad as everything was going and as wretched as they were playing defensively, that at 35-27, 5 minutes left, Patriots will drive here. It'll be a matter of whether or not they get the two.
Oh, and they're chucking up prayers like it's Super Bowl 42.
Exactly.
Didn't you think
it was
that?
that
No,
all
be honest.
over again?
Be
I'm
honest.
just throwing. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What happened to Tom Brady? Just coolly comes down the field. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna move it around. Boom, boom, boom. No, we're just chucking and ducking. Like this was the least Patriots performance in forever.
Yeah. I don't remember a game like this. And, well, again, the last time that the Patriots allowed 41-plus points, it was to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was the Kansas City Massacre.
Good news, though.
29th.
What happened that year?
That worked out okay.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to New Orleans now,
Yeah.
and we're on to the Super Bowl. But one thing we can cross off the list, we no longer have to envision an undefeated season.
All right, well, we'll put that in the plus
So
column.
you'll be happy for that.
Right.
Yeah,
Those of you that believe going undefeated is like a bad thing and too much pressure, pressure's off early.
I also want to say, Alex Smith. I mean,
Those numbers are unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers were
I was
unreal.
really surprised about
but
Alex
his
Smith.
play was unreal, too. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought...
Look, I know, but to me, that's more about the
Jim,
defense.
Andy Hart will tell you because he remembers these like the back of his hand. Every time a quarterback comes in here and has the opportunity to make that throw to Tyreek Hill and make that throw to Kareem Hunt, and they overthrow it by 5 yards, or they underthrow it and hit a guy in the back of the head who's 5 yards trailing in coverage, he made those the big plays that we said he couldn't make. He made them.
Yeah.
Those guys were wide
But
open.
it doesn't matter.
I know.
We
Did
have
you
to
see
be-
Sammy Coates in the AFC Championship game? He was wide open,
No,
too.
I'm not allowing it to happen on my show.
This is
Alex Smith came in here and whooped you.
he did.
You can think
Yeah.
whatever you want.
But
right.
the
That's
tape-
fine. Tonight.
the
You can
tape-
think before or after that he sucks, he's a game manager, he can't make plays. Tonight,
I still think that's what he is.
He came in, you know who he was tonight? Conor McGregor. And he knocked you the bleep out.
Yeah, for one night.
Absolutely.
But
I'm
that's
not,
the
I'm
only
not making
night
any
that
grandiose.
matters.
I'm not making any grandiose statements about he's changing perceptions. No,
You
he
know
did
how it's
something
gonna be.
tonight that I
There's
didn't think he could do.
There's going to be a narrative now that Alex Smith. There's going to be those people that are the
Yeah,
Alex
but-
Smith. See, Alex Smith
Don't
is good
listen
for
to
one
stupid
night.
narratives.
For one night.
But
he
for
was-
right now-
he'd have to do that on a more regular basis.
Right.
But I am not going to dismiss the fact that not all regular season games are created equal. You come on the road and play the big bad Patriots in their house when they're unveiling the
banner.
fifth championship banner, and you go 28 of 35 for 368 and 4 touchdowns, and never really anything close to a turnover. That's pretty impressive. And it wasn't just dinking and dunking. That's what he did mostly. But when he had the chances and he took his shots, they were there. And Travis Kelce could have caught another one for him that he didn't do. I didn't think Kelce did a good job on the sideline coming back for the ball when he had McCourty beat, and McCourty ended up, without looking, he ended up breaking up the play. I thought that was as good a performance, aside from maybe the sack when he fell down early in the game. I'd be hard pressed to come up with a mistake or two beyond that.
And it wasn't
that I can
easy.
even remember.
That's the other thing. It wasn't easy. I mean, he was down. He had to keep fighting. It was not
Well,
like
down
it just
10 points.
rolled here. All those numbers, Patriots leading after the half at home at Gillette State, like all those stats and numbers and 90 and ones and undefeated and whatever. He fought through that. So
Before he ever got the ball, they were trailing 7-0. One play later, they were trailing 7-0, and the other team was in your territory.
That was, by the way,
he came back
the
and
last
won.
time Andy felt good about his prediction. I predicted a blowout. I predicted a Kareem Hunt fumble. I was like, oh, I'm Nostradamus. And then,
All right, well,
then they screwed Gronk out of a
dumbass.
touchdown.
we got a lot to get to with this game. Obviously, again, Patriots follow the Chiefs 42-27 in the season opener tonight. So let's get to the good, bad, and the injury.
Now it's time for the good. Nice! The bad.
You don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off!
And the injured.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
On the Xbox One Patriots postgame show.
So, who was good for the Patriots tonight? I mean, I'm hard-pressed to find anybody
McCourty,
defensively.
Beasley.
McCourty was making good tackles, but, he was part of that blown play, a big touchdown to Tyreek Hill.
And he was part of the initial touchdown over the middle.
Yeah,
right.
He was in coverage on the first touchdown to.
I don't know what happened on the Hill one. That one, he gave up a touchdown.
Yeah.
Defensively, Dietrich Wise for a rookie might have played okay.
I don't even know if I can put him there. He's running on the field.
Yeah, he didn't know when he was supposed to be on or off the field a number of times. I would have the good. I think Danny Amendola played a good football game, although he put the ball on the ground twice, one of which he probably got concussed on the play, had to play a couple more punts after that because of the penalties, then leaves with an injury. So that right there isn't great for him and where we think he could go this year. Gillislee, I mean, you punch it in the end zone, I guess, but he had a very LeGarrette Blount night where low yards per carry, couldn't get the fourth down runs. Really, the only good thing he did was punch it in, and he had one nice, 17-yard run or 15-yard run or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
he was very blunt-like. I've been calling. I thought that he would have those opportunities tonight and do more with them. So I would put him on the good category for doing, the goal line work with ease 3 times, 3 for 3 on the goal line. But 2 fourth and inches that he got stuffed on, one of which he had absolutely no shot. So there was a lot. There was a lot of blunt-like qualities there. So I would put him on the good for the touchdowns, the bad for averaging 3 yards a carry or whatever he averaged.
Did either of you think that Nate Solder had a good night? Because up until the end of the game, Brady didn't get sacked, but no, he didn't.
I didn't think the offensive line played all that well.
No, I thought as the game wore on, the Chiefs applied more pressure, and they refused to send any pressure.
Right.
And I was wondering exactly what the game plan was, but when they smelled it, man, Marcus Cannon got torched twice down the stretch. Solder had a bad holding penalty that ended up not being a big deal because it was offsetting penalty, so the ball stayed at the 2 and they scored the next play anyway.
Well,
no, I
never disregard bad plays.
I don't. It nullified a touchdown.
Right.
The fact that they scored a touchdown on the next play doesn't mean that it didn't nullify a touchdown.
Right.
And then the next drive, he got beat badly off the edge, and Brady got rid of the ball.
So it doesn't sound like there's really anyone that had a good night.
Well, I think Amendola was a good one.
Every time they threw him the ball, he caught it.
I thought you got to see the versatility of the backs. I thought James White had some nice plays in this game. I don't think the numbers are eye-popping, but I thought he ran the ball reasonably well.
Career high in carries, I think.
I think he ended up with 10 for 38 yards. So, like I said, not eye-popping numbers, but I thought he had some nice runs in those carries. I don't know. Who else?
I mean, Cooks caught the deep ball, drew a couple penalties.
Yeah, I think Cooks' numbers would look better, if you put those penalties. I think he drew 3 penalties, at least 2. That's why I was disgusted with the guy. What's the guy's name? 39
Mitchell,
Terrence Mitchell. He was terrible in the game for Kansas City. He was the one secondary guy that seemingly Brady was salivating at him, and then at the end of the game, one of those deep balls that we were talking about, he made a nice play on it, prevented it, and got up like he had just, cured cancer.
Yeah.
Just, wow, go away, kid. You got torched all night by Brandon Cooks in one play you made.
For the bad, there's no shortage of names. The one that really immediately comes to mind for me is the fake Chris Long, 55. His name I just don't even want to remember because I'll be shocked if he's with this team in a couple of weeks. He looked completely useless.
Well, he got here like a couple days ago.
Yeah, no, I know. What
They also gave 5th and 7th round picks for him.
Yeah, I don't think you can cut him very quickly. I also wouldn't advise putting him out in coverage all that often. He's an undersized defensive end, but he's still a defensive end. That still means he spends the bulk of his life with his hand in the dirt running that way, not backpedaling and flipping his hips in coverage. I would put on the bad the coaching staff. I think they got there for
the idea.
The whole Bill Belichick. You give him 2 weeks and he's great. Well, you gave him 8 months to prepare for this game, and I know there's personnel changes, but you decided some of that. Like you sort of knew what was going on there, and I didn't like anything they did on any side of the ball. Chris Hogan is suddenly your jet sweep guy. We're not going to throw him the ball, but we're going to run 3 jet sweeps to Chris
Hogan. I know that we talked a lot about he could be a replacement for Edelman. We thought his production would spike, but I didn't necessarily mean to use him like they use Edelman. We're going to hand him a couple of jet sweeps. I don't think he has that kind. I think he's fast. Andy and I argue about how fast he is. But I don't think he is that quick that you want to give a little jet sweep to see what he can do.
They used him like Edelman on those, but I never or very infrequently saw him used as Edelman on, let's run a drag, an option route. Just give him the ball like they would Edelman.
Andy, how about those back shoulder throws on the sideline that he caught all during the summer?
Right.
I didn't see one tonight.
But even that's his old job as an outside receiver. I'm saying if you want to pretend he's going to be the next Edelman, the slot, the move the chain, start the drives, all that, I didn't really see him used in that way that often.
Yeah,
I thought there were a lot of curious play call and scheme and personnel decisions.
Just let's talk about those 2 fourth and shorts. Why aren't you going with the quarterback sneak when it's the most nails play in the NFL?
I think they took it away both times.
Yeah.
I think they had the center covered both times, and that's their tell for that. I think they had 3 guys, 2 in the A gap and 1 over the center. That's a tough quarterback sneak formation. That would be my guess. I don't know. Maybe someone will ask them about it. I doubt it, though, because that would be kind of controversial.
And then on that last drive that they had, that they settled for the field goal, I think it was on the 2nd down, that they call another sweep. I think it was I believe, if I recall, it was to Gillisley.
Yeah, it was White, I think, and he lost 6 yards. And I would agree with you on that one. And I thought they were guilty a little of our old hurry up and fail stuff tonight, Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Where they had it going. I thought they would have, 5 yards, 8 yards, 5 yards. And everything is working. You don't always have to fool everybody.
Right.
And I think Bill and Josh are really hell-bent on showing off all their toys all the time. We're going to run to the line and run and get stopped for a yard. And all of a sudden it's 2nd and 9 when you were dominating on this drive. Sometimes I get frustrated with that, and I'm definitely very frustrated with how badly they played in general tonight. With the Hogan thing, the only thing I can give maybe a little bit, Mr. Football, you can help me out. I was wondering about the back shoulder plays. Might it be the way that the coverage presents itself?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know exactly.
But I'm more mad that
they just kept
trying
to go by.
I guess they're not going to use him as. I thought there was a chance he was going to take over a high number of throws, target, like interior.
I did too. I thought he would be a guy.
His yards per catch will come way down. Obviously, he's no longer going to be 17 yards a catch. But
he was 2016 Hogan tonight. One catch with whatever.
That was not good.
Would either you put the quarterback in the bad category?
Sure.
Because it looked like he
wasn't accurate. He got flustered. The first play was the first play of the game, right? The Dwayne Allen throw?
Yeah.
Wide open, uncovered on basically a tight end wheel route down the sideline. And
he overthrew him.
It was a bad throw. I think it was It was a little bit like the Welker Super Bowl play.
Yeah.
I think it was a bad throw by the quarterback, but I do think you're an NFL tight end. Make an adjustment and catch the ball.
I don't think he went after that ball very well, but it was
a very
bad
good
throw.
pass catcher. I'm sort of to that point with Dwayne Allen. He's not inept, but he's not a good natural pass catching tight end. That's just not what he is. But back to Brady, he didn't. I thought you started to see some of those plays where, you're Shaq Mason and you're blocking, and a guy kind of gets a little to your edge, and I'm already like tucking and bobbing and weaving, expecting that guy to beat you, rather than just standing in there and playing. I thought he started to anticipate. Paul's right. The rush started to get to him more. He started to anticipate it more, and that's one of those where it snowballs. Yeah. Whether it gets there or not, he starts to think it's coming.
Yeah, I didn't think he was pressured really very much at all in the entire first half.
No.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know how many times was he sacked. It seemed like
I think it was 2 by the end of the game.
Oh, it had to be more than that, no?
He was sacked 3 times for 20 yards, including a near safety right at the end there.
Yeah, that was
a little bit close.
Really, really close. I think that was fortunate. But obviously,
Rostowski did his job, right?
He did. Put him on the good. Put him on the good.
He
did
everything.
everything.
PATs, field goals, kickoffs.
Yeah. And I even think the kickoffs that they returned, they returned from out of the end zone. So,
yes. And they were doing something where they were sort of asking him to kick it angled across the field there. But as we search, and I think we are searching to have any positives in this show, I would put Rostowski on the positive. Back to the negatives.
Who else stands out? Obviously,
I don't know. Who? Do you have a roster?
Yeah, I mean, it feels
This is not one of those nights either that.
Oh, Bad Emoze had a nice tackle on kick coverage. At like the 9 or 10. He's a new guy that was thrown out there to the Wolves that showed up for the
He was getting a lot of attaboys in the sideline.
Philip Dorsett looked lost on that deep ball. They were not in the same play. I mean, he had to have been 10 yards from where that deep ball was thrown to. The other, Marsh, you never want to see him again because he played. The new guys that were thrown to the fire weren't exactly lightening up out there.
And in
Not
terms
like
of
the Bud Light cups.
So in terms of
that we didn't get.
those were
Everybody else got them, but we didn't.
in terms of the
I'm not
injured, Danny Amendola leads the game with a concussion.
Dante Hightower left the
Dante
game.
Hightower with a knee.
If I had to guess, MCL sprain based on the way it played out.
It's one of those that we were glad we weren't on TV because Andy and Paul were blatantly assessing the injury.
But generally, when you get rolled up on and it bends in like that, stretches the inner part of the knee out, it's just a question of, is it an MCL 1, 2, 3, you know, and
knee sprain. It's going to be a knee sprain. But
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks, probably on the bad end. Maybe a little shorter than that on the good end.
given
And on
timetables.
Amendola, what do you think we're looking at there?
There's no way to tell.
Just
Concussion
because-
protocol. I don't
Right.
know.
And it looked like he got concussed by the ground.
Yeah,
he went down and kind of like bounced off the ground.
And do you know what Andy's talking about? That was that sequence that we ran into the kicker on consecutive plays.
Oh my God!
So on the first one is the one he got concussed.
He got up. He was walking off. I believe Hogan or one of his other receivers was like kind of talking to him, helping him off. And then it was the penalties. And I see him instead of heading for the bench where he clearly is. The old days they called him dinged.
Yeah.
And then he just has to turn and go back that way to catch another punt. And I'm
he
like,
caught the next one.
he's
They
out of
ran
it.
into the kicker again, and he stayed out there again, and then caught the third one and returned
Now,
it.
I will continue to ask. I don't put any blame on the Patriots. There's a lot going on out there. But where am I? I'm in the press box. So I'm watching the game from the press box, correct? So I'm sort of an independent observer from the press box. Isn't there one of those whose job is that?
on the field?
Like
Isn't
there's
there,
a guy.
but isn't there one in the press box and on the sideline?
There's a guy on the bench.
Right?
But I think it's hard to see from the bench personally.
That's what I'm saying. But the
But
guy
he's in a
upstairs
press
should.
box like me, so he sees the play. I'm guessing every box in this building has a monitor. So you combine the viewing of the play with the replay as they're going through the penalties and just his look, boom, ball pops out. He lays down on his back a little. Isn't that where you say
Buzz down,
buzzer, whatever my little thing is, flag, something? I'd like you to take a look at that guy, number 80. So that annoys me. Because I think they're, I guess, trying to do the right thing, but it's not working. You didn't do it right. You made the guy return 2 more punts. I don't know why that rant came, but I'm not going
Well, I know you guys got thoughts, and you're probably hot, and we want to hear from you. 855-PATS-500, that is the Ace Ticket hotline. You can also email webradio@patriots.com. Again, Patriots fall to the Chiefs 42-27 in just a stunning loss to open the season here.
I agree. Stunning. This is up there with Arizona. The meaningful nature of the game, not even close, but I'm stunned. I didn't see that coming. I know I make that obvious.
But not only I didn't see it
but-
coming, and that's obvious. We all picked the Patriots to win fairly handily. But when they had games that they've lost that you didn't see coming, there's always a laundry list of things that you go back and say, my God, the onside kick when they're up 14-0, and then you allow a block punt for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown.
Pick 6.
Oh, remember that Arizona home game that year where Gostowski missed the game-winning field goal?
Oh, right, yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, no one thought the Arizona Cardinals with Kevin
Cobb
Cobb was going to
yeah.
come in here and win the game. But, the Patriots did so much to help that happen. I think they got a punt blocked in that game, too. Tonight, there was no, like I said, not one turnover. And I understand they had 2 fourth-down stops, but one of them was at the 10-yard line.
Right.
That's not really a turnover that cost you the game. They allowed 3 90-yard or more drives. 3.
Alex Smith and the Chiefs.
To a team that generally doesn't get chunk plays.
Right.
They allowed a 75-yard touchdown, a 72-yard touchdown, and a 58-yard run. The 58-yard run might have been the most stunning of all. Because, I don't know, I'm still delusional here watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, it's an 8-point game with 5 minutes left. They got 3 timeouts left. Well, even if you give up a first down, you're still going to get the ball back.
Right.
58 yards. Game, set, match. And then you allow the guy to walk in from the 25 on the next play. And that probably would have been a 78-yard touchdown run if not for the situation. He was so hell-bent on not fumbling.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as McCourty got close, he slowed down. And
He was like a fullback.
Yeah.
And overall, the lack of continuity with the offense is just mind-blowing to me. And in that last drive, where you have they have a shot. They can tie the game if they get the touchdown, get the 2 points. And they're just chucking Brady's chucking up prayers.
Yeah, if you want to see a replay, just go back, as Andy said, to Super Bowl 42 and watch the last 35 seconds.
Right.
Because that's what they did with 5 minutes left.
You know what just struck me, though? Maybe,
That I'm a little hot?
No. Are you hot? Like,
Both.
Physically?
Well, I can't believe how bad they played. I cannot believe how bad they played. I really
Alex
can't.
Smith, though, as you continue to mock him, as most people do. But remember a few years ago, there was some talk about Tom Brady might be about time to him to be done. And
Yeah.
the Patriots may have drafted a quarterback in the second round.
I was thinking the same thing when
Chiefs
Jim was
drafted a
saying
quarterback in the first round. Maybe he's saying, A, I'm not done, and B, I can throw it up too, just like he does.
Right.
Because that's what Mahomes is. He's a gambler. He throws, some of those plays in the preseason, rolling out on the run, throwing like 35, 40 yards downfield. But maybe Alex Smith is saying, you know what, I'm not quite ready for you to pass this torch in Kansas City and give up on the season. Some of us still think we can win, and some of us still think we can play. Don't bury him just yet.
All right. Well, let's start off with Alex
Wait till
in
next week.
Although Eric Berry did tear his Achilles, that probably will be a...
Yeah, they're toast.
I'm guessing it was torn.
But, and I do need to say, I didn't say Kareem Hunt couldn't beat you, but he hadn't proven it yet. Well, now he has. Because Kareem Hunt was a part of the ass whooping. Because you take away the fumble, and he was like, perfect.
And I'm ready for the calls, too, but just think about that for the kid. The first time he touches the ball as an NFL player, he fumbled. Then he put up, 250 yards of offense after that?
Oh, yeah, he was good. And
right, he had 140-something yards. Right? What did he have?
Alex in New York, your first up here. What's up?
148 rushing and 98
Oh, we'll
receiving.
get a break now. Alex has a lot of energy, and once she starts talking, she doesn't stop. Go, Alex!
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say you can't have a good and a bad because it's just bad. I mean, I would say with the exception of Gostowski, Flowers, who got sacks, so that's good. But beyond
I didn't
that,
notice
that's
Trey
it.
Flowers in this game at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't include Flowers. No, you were right. Gostowski. Flowers, I thought, disappeared for large portions of the game.
I think the thing that just really, obviously there's a lot of rust to be shaken off, but the thing that troubled me the most is that it's just like when we started the game, up tempo, no huddle, we were like, let's go. And then James White, he was moving, he was doing great. And all of a sudden, we just kind of went away from that. And I was just like, I don't understand. It seems to be working fine. We're mixing it up. I definitely agree. I think Brady is really missing Edelman. And, when he gets antsy, when he doesn't have his security blankets to throw to, he gets antsy, and then he starts to panic, and he makes bad decisions with his throws, and he throws the long bomb, and he forces things that aren't there. I was disappointed. I know that Gronk was really covered well, but I was really disappointed that in his performance tonight. But I guess and then the other thing that was just, if not for the penalties, how much worse could it have been? I mean, there were times where I'm like, Kansas City is our 12th man.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mistakes.
There were a couple of occasions, especially in the third quarter, where it looked like Kansas City was about to take control, and they get a holding call. Or Travis Kelce would push someone off him for no reason. And all of a sudden, instead of 2nd and 1, it's 2nd and 14 or 2nd and 12, and they end up getting short-circuited. One of them negated like a 20-yard run.
I don't like Burkhead. I find him to be really slow. I was not impressed with him. He's dead to me.
Wow.
Alex,
thanks for the...
It's one game.
Is, what do we do? I mean, where do we do from here? Let's say Hightower's out. We have no Amendola. We have no Hightower. Let's say we have no Mitchell. He's on an injured reserve.
Right.
Clearly, we have deficits on defense. Clearly, we have deficits on offense. I know it's going to get better. It's not going to stay like this. It simply can't. But it seemed like we literally ran out of dudes to play. Like, where do we go from here? What do we do? How do we make this better?
It's a concern. That's a concern moving forward. She's right.
It is. But I would also say, you have 10 days. You have a half a bye week.
Right.
You play on Thursday. Every short week, Bill tells us, brings a long week. So they have plenty of time to get back to work, reset it here for a trip to New Orleans. I also think, let's remember how the game started. It was, as I like to reference, Paul, a sea hair away from going the way I thought it was going to go. It's a marine animal. Look it up if you Google it.
Of H-A-R-E?
S-E-A-H-A-R-E.
Okay.
Sea hair.
Okay.
complete
But
total moron.
they had, I thought, a questionable overturned touchdown. I personally never saw an angle that told me I could overturn that touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Paul believes they must have had a better angle in New York, where they, all that now centralized.
They put something
It looked
up
like
at
the
one
ground
point.
disrupted it a little bit, the ball.
See, there was
But-
one angle that it looked like as he was catching it, the ball was he had his big hand underneath.
cupped it.
But the ball was moving up by his forearm. But they never showed it. I agree with Andy. Based on the two replays they kept showing, one from one side, one from the other, I saw no definitive replay that said that he didn't catch it. I would have kept it a touchdown.
So they took a touchdown off
And
the
I am
board.
not a homer on those calls. I call those like I see them. I
Yeah.
thought that was a touchdown. My only guess is, based on the way the ball was moving, that they saw an angle that we didn't see. And they put up at one point officials review, like, the official look, but they never played it. It was like a still shot. And I don't know if Bill Vinovich got to look at something different that we didn't. If he didn't, I'd be very curious as to
Bad call.
what his explanation was.
I also didn't like the Malcolm Butler pass interference.
I didn't like
which
that call
set them
either.
up for a touchdown.
Well, he shouldn't have thrown his hands immediately.
Well, he was trying to say, I'm not touching anybody.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't-
anytime
I
you
didn't
do
like
that,
I thought it was a
you're
weak
gonna
call.
get-
Everybody's like, oh, you
some
got to
other
look at the
people
ball.
Immediately on Twitter, some of the other Patriots beat writers immediately said, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
I mean, that's an easy call for the official." I didn't think he did anything to disrupt him. Much like I didn't think there was the beginning of the game. Every incomplete pass drew an unbelievable reaction from the crowd. I didn't think any of them were pass interference. The only one I thought they missed on the Chiefs was on Burkhead, on the deep ball with D Ford. D
Oh,
Ford
he had his right arm,
He
yeah,
grabbed
yeah.
Burkhead's arm, and that was pass interference that they missed. But there was a couple to Gronk, there was a couple to Hogan that they kind of reacted to, and the crowd was going crazy. I watched the replays, and every one of them, there was contact. I mean, there was. I think you got to let them
Legal
play. You
contact,
got to let
yeah.
them play a little bit. You can't just say he can't be touching him and call a penalty. And if you do say that, then you have to say the Butler one was good. But I thought the Butler one was a bad call.
To the first caller's point, though, I do think that there is maybe a lack of trust thing with Brady with some of these new guys. Maybe it's Cooks, or maybe he's looking for Edelman. I felt like the loss of Edelman was pretty evident so far tonight to me, and that's
Yeah, but as much I thought with the scheme and the play calling as with the loss of the player. It's like they said, we don't have that guy, we can't do that anymore. Why?
right.
Why can't
Good
Amendola or Hogan do it? You know what this reminded me a little bit of, Paul? New York. Just scrap it. We're a whole new team. They went to New York and they had to
Cards.
use armbands and cards and all that. I thought we were the freaking Patriots.
You know what you'll figure out, Jim? Andy and Paul remember about 5 games over the last 19 years, and we use them liberally to prove
Well,
our
I
point.
just-
Good and bad.
I don't.
That's one that we use in the bad category.
I would not say this is one that any of these coaches should put on their resume tape for I'm trying to get a head coaching job or anything.
Oh, it's a bad night for Matt Patricia.
And Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, him too.
I'm a big Josh McDaniels fan, but he gets the bad.
Yeah.
And guess who else gets it? William Theodore Belichick. I don't really know what his middle name is. Maybe it's Stephen. William Stephen Belichick.
I'm not sure about that either.
Melvin.
But he did not do a great job tonight. His good buddy, his good pal, good friends, longtime friends, well, he got one upped.
Melvin in Tennessee, you're next here in the Patriots post-game show.
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Hey.
Just this. Just a
Licking
loss.
our wounds.
Just, I was a little wrong. I don't take being wrong very
Two
well.
of my entries knocked out of the
I was
knockout
wrong.
pool tonight. Not happy with that.
It happens. It happens. Paul, would you say the defense of tonight was average, above average, or below average?
Melvin, do not steal my thunder for PFW in progress next week, because this will definitely come up. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I.
know.
But I mean, listen, I'm not going to try to claim victory here. I didn't expect anything like that, but that's basically what I was talking about. If you play a team that executes, what do they do to stop you? Now, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I mean, 78, 75, 28, 25, 21-yard plays they allowed tonight. The Patriots,
Yeah.
and 3 of those were touchdowns. Otherwise, they may have been a lot longer than that, because the end zone stopped the play 3 times. That's
And
just
I got-
that defense tonight was wretched.
Yeah, that was bad. And I remember you stating that point, and just watching those games and stuff like that, with especially a quarterback like Alex Smith, you expected one of those passes to Hunt. That was a really good pass that he threw, and to Hill, that long ball. You miss one of those passes, and that could be a completely different game. But
Right. Well, you know what it becomes, Melvin? It becomes Brock Osweiler missing Will Fuller in the end zone. when it's a 14-13 game
Yeah.
or somewhere along that line. It was a close game, and you have opportunities to make plays. You're not going to get a lot of them, and you miss
Right.
them.
All right, and you can just get us specifically on this night. I feel like the Patriots normally get bailed out with the drop here or there or something.
Yeah,
Some weird
and they
thing.
didn't get bailed out tonight. And give the running back credit. Kareem Hunt was balls in this game, and after dropping the ball the first time he touched it, I give him a lot of credit.
Which was so funny because
Even
Richards
that was an
forces
8-yard
it.
run.
Yeah, it was a good run, but Jordan Richards forces it. It's almost like I don't trust Bill putting Jordan Richards at linebacker in the game, but it's like it just works. he strips the ball in the first chance to make a play. So we're going to be even bend but don't break on runs or whatever, and then the bottom fell out and Hunt just owned him.
Nick Baby Love in South Florida. You're next here on the Patriots postgame show. What's up, Nick? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you for your kind thoughts about Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, you gonna evacuate or what?
I'm going to make a decision tomorrow to go to one of the shelters. I really don't want to, but I may have to. So, just is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know not everybody always wants to listen to the man, but in this case, listen to the man and get to a shelter if that's what they're telling you to do.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm somebody who is, like you said, I just want to shout out to the first two callers. Obviously the girl, our girl in New York there,
Alex,
and Melvin's my buddy. He just texted me. So, and then you had on before. I'm doing this for you, Jim, because I really want this to work. Brendan in Australia and then Lucas, who were on the last show, they're also on the team. I mean, I can't tell you how many texts and well wishes to make it through this, because even a shelter, we don't know what's going to happen. So it puts everything in perspective, And I love you, Paul and Andy. Hey, look, I take losses really, really hard. And if I could have got on the sports hub, you guys, had a great show today. It's just hard to get through sometime. But you got to give Kansas City credit. They're more hungry. And I would have said, look, this is a new team. I listened to number 12 and every word he says. And, they just didn't have it. And, I don't know what to tell you. I've seen a lot of teams, and you can't make excuses. It's the next man up. And, I don't want to hear the talk about Garoppolo, whatever. And Bill's going in the press conference now on the TV, and I think, it boils down to him. He had a lousy coaching job, and, all I care about is the next game. The only bad thing about tonight, because I pay attention to details, is the tiebreaker. If we happen to have a good year, we're going to have to go through Kansas City, and it's going to be tough winning in Kansas City. Anyway, thanks.
All right, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
See you, Nick. Be safe.
Show as usual.
Get to that shelter. Be safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Nick. So that's a good point. Okay, so down the road, this could mean that the Patriots end up having to play, playoff game of the road, AFC Championship game of the road. I mean, this is something you look back at, and it's like, I know, we're way ahead of it. But
It could, but let's relax. It's week one. You think Alex Reed sucks? I mean, Alex Smith sucks.
Yeah, Andy Reid, Alex Reid, all of it.
That too.
I do. I mean,
So,
look,
but we all opened the show as much as we were disrespecting Kansas City by saying they went 12-4 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also opened the show wondering if they were trying to win anymore.
Well, look,
I don't think we were really openly wondering if they were trying.
Are
to
they
win.
all in?
I think they were wondering. Are they?
That hurts even more if
Are
they're
they
not all
looking
in.
ahead to the future? Are they wondering if this is the end of the Alex Smith era? But I think they could still win games, and I don't.
Yeah, based on the way they played tonight.
Well,
I still don't look.
They just took the team that everybody.
People
Everybody
were
thought there was a
19-0,
significant gap between the Patriots
I'll tell ya.
and whoever you want to say was number 2, and they just whooped them
what
at home.
generally happens when the Patriots lose a game like this,
We overreact.
It's hysteria.
not just overreacting about the Patriots.
Giardi's going to ask if the quarterback position will be evaluated.
The other team will inevitably lose the next game, and all of a sudden you're like,
Who they got?
they got a leg up on you. Who knows? Who cares? But I do think there's
Chastise me.
I do think that the whole seeding thing is relevant.
Yeah.
And maybe not just for Kansas City. Maybe it's for Andy's favorite team, the Steelers. That's an AFC loss.
Right.
You know, you have to go to Pittsburgh. You could lose to them as well. And, you know, who knows?
Well, I'll eat
They
crow.
play the Eagles at Arrowhead.
I'll eat crow on Alex Smith for a night. I still don't think he's good, but he was nails tonight. And also Tyreek Hill, not a gadget player tonight, Paul.
I thought there was a lot of
No,
gadgets.
he's still
involved.
a gadget player, but he made it work.
Yeah.
And the funny
7
thing
catches,
is,
$133 and a touchdown.
No, I'm not saying that he doesn't I mean, he had,
His speed
he had
is-
61 catches last year. I mean,
Yeah,
I wasn't stunned that they were able to get the ball to him, but I think they really have to scheme to do it. And I give Andy Reid a ton of credit for doing it. He had one bunch formation in the first half where they crossed him. They had 3 guys in a bunch. They came across the field
Trips
out of
left.
a bunch. And then they dragged, I think, the
Kelsey.
tight end across to sort of set a
Yeah,
pick
it was no
to
doubt.
get him open, and he catches
the opposite of what the Patriots, for the most part, do. Every team does it, but they have their best player. They have to scheme up to get him the ball. Like, they have to really focus
Right.
to get him the ball, rather than just saying he's going to line up out wide and he's going to run a comeback. And I'm
Now,
you know what I mean? It's
I'll also
different.
say, you know, I will admit that I'm wrong if I see like continued development. Maybe this was the start of he was a gadget player last year, and now he's making a progression, and maybe he's a little bit more of a conventional receiver. But even the touchdown was another really funky formation where they had stacked receivers on both slots,
Twins.
right? But they were stacked,
Right.
which I don't really recall seeing a whole lot of. And it didn't look like the Patriots had seen a whole lot of that either, because neither McCourty nor Gilmore handled it very well. I don't
They
know.
both said you got him, right?
I don't know if Gilmore is supposed to pass him off. I would like to see Gilmore closer to Hill.
I think that was a zone thing.
But I would.
A weird zone thing, and it didn't
And
go well.
McCourty did
They
not
do it all
take
the
the
time,
team.
though.
Andy
Let's
and
not
I-
pretend they don't. I mean, they spend endless hours in training camp with 2 corners, a corner and a safety on some group of receivers, and they didn't react well to it. They blew it.
Yeah, and they had the same formation on the other side too. They had twins stacked to both sides. Like I said, I don't really recall seeing a whole lot of formations like that. But again, I have nothing to say about Kansas City tonight. That was really, really
was an
eye-opening,
ass kicker.
eye-opening performance. But doing it all kinds of different ways. Running the ball down your throat, throwing the ball over the top, throwing the ball underneath, getting timely pressure when you got the lead in the second half. Finding ways to come up with stops on 4th downs and short, twice. Those were huge. The first one probably changed the whole game. Instead of, 14-0,
Right.
it's 7-0, and you get the
Right.
ball, and then you go 90 yards. I give them all kinds
Yeah,
of
I do
credit.
think that's where the game sort of swung. That penalty, and then the stop, and then they drive right down the field, and it's like,
We're going to have a game
they're
tonight.
in this.
And it wasn't just a game. It was
But
a
then they kept
blowout.
doing that, too. Let's
Yeah.
not pretend it came easy for the Chiefs. Like, the Patriots didn't play well, but they didn't roll over. They didn't lay down early. They were putting up points. They were moving the ball. They weren't punting every time they had the ball or turning it over, and the Chiefs just kept fighting them and then pulled away. They're good.
Well, we're here for you because we know you
Better
want to
than I
vent. And get full phone lines right now. If
Chiefs
someone
are a good
drops you,
team
get
this
on at
year.
855 past
Say that.
500. That is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Email as well.
Definitely
Red
be a good
Radio
team.
at Patriots.com. Web radio at Patriots.com.
Red Radio?
Red Radio. Red Radio here. See, it's a little late. Now I'm going to talk like a 1920s broadcaster.
I just need to apologize to somebody.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
I got into a long fight with Christian Arcand one day when I filled in on EEI with him about what was more likely, that the Patriots would go 16-0 or 0-2 to start the year. I just got a text from Christian Arcand. He said, 1 down, 1 to go. He's right. There is now a far significantly better chance they go 0-2 than 16-0.
Yeah,
It's actually a 100% better chance.
Drew Brees, to me, a lot more talented than Alex Smith.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to overreact, but you do need to reassess a little after this game. Now, the stuff we said in the summer about Dwayne Allen not looking like he was on the same page with Brady, and the offense not exactly clicking all the time, even Cook sometimes not being on the same page with Brady, or the defense not tackling, or the defense looking like communication, even though some of that was backups and guys that aren't on the team anymore, guys that are on IR, a lot of that stuff was an issue tonight. Now you say, well, was I just whistling past said graveyard in August because, regular season will get here, and then, you get McCourty out there, and when McCourty's on the field, they don't allow big plays. That's what he does, right? I mean, he's the last line of defense, and he makes sure the GTFB defense is in full effect. Well, it wasn't. So now you say, do I need to think?
Promise to go get to your phone calls coming up next here on the Patriots post-game show presented by Xbox One.
Don't miss a moment of the season with the New England Patriots 24/7 team station on TuneIn. Between the action on Sunday, listen in as Patriots insiders take you beyond the locker room with interviews with players and coaches, post-game and post-practice press conferences, game previews, analysis, and more. Listen to the New England Patriots 24/7 team station year-round on TuneIn.
Patriot Place in Foxborough is New England's premier entertainment, dining, and shopping destination. Experience the Hall at Patriot Place, presented by Raytheon, an interactive museum dedicated to the history of New England football. The family will want to check out the latest movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, shop retailers, and the region's only Bass Pro Shops. And of course, there's always dinner and drinks as you dine outdoors and take in a sunset or the view overlooking Gillette Stadium. Get ready to roll in and rock out at Splitsville Luxury Lanes featuring Howl at the Moon, and enjoy the ultimate in pampering at Green Tangerine Spa and Salon. Experience world-class medical care at Brigham and Women's Mass General Healthcare Center, located on site at Patriot Place. And enjoy overnight accommodations at the region's only 4-star hotel, the Renaissance Boston Patriot Place Hotel. Special events are always happening at Patriot Place, from Kids Club story time every Tuesday to the area's largest classic car display. Patriot Place is located in Foxborough next to Gillette Stadium, and parking is free. Visit patriot-place.com for a complete store and restaurant hours and event listing. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy.
A better network, as explained by the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker.
Hi there. As the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker, I'm powerful. How powerful? Verizon 4G LTE network powerful. So powerful you can stream local and primetime NFL games live on your smartphone powerful. That's if I were Verizon's 4G LTE network, which I'm not. I am muscles.
Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile. Included only on Verizon. Better matters.
Data usage applies, available on select devices.
Want to be a Patriots season ticket holder? Join the Patriots season ticket holder waitlist and get in the game. Be first in line to purchase Patriots season tickets as they become available, and receive exclusive access to the Patriots Ticket Exchange and other amenities such as access to playoff tickets, Gillette Stadium concert pre-sales, and much more. Get on the list. Get in the game. Visit patriots.com/the list to join today. We've heard it all. Greatest comeback, greatest quarterback, greatest coach, and now there's the greatest new way to enjoy Friendly's ice cream and all your other Friendly's favorites. Introducing Friendly's new mobile app and online ordering service. You don't have to worry about overtime because your order will be ready when you are. Go to friendlys.olo.com, and when you open an account, you get 50% off your first online order. friendlys.olo.com. It's the greatest. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop has everything you need to show your pride on game day and every day. Choose from the widest selection of hats, tees, authentic jerseys, and much more, including Pro Shop exclusives and sideline gear from Adidas, Nike, and New Era. The Pro Shop is located next to Gillette Stadium and is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or shop online 24/7 at patriotsproshop.com. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop. Your team, your store.
A lot of people talk about giving their best. They talk about leaving it all on the field. But how do you know if it's enough? The simple fact is, you don't. But that's why you keep going. Keep working. Keep doing your job. And in the end, your results will show exactly how much you gave. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
Follow the Patriots like never before with the official Patriots mobile apps for iPhone, Android, and iPad. Get instant access to all the latest news, stats, and analysis, plus live Patriots Game Center. Search New England Patriots in your device's app marketplace to get the latest Patriots news, audio, and video in the palm of your hand. Download the official Patriots mobile apps today and stay connected.
You know you're from around here when it's perfectly normal to sit in 6 hours of Cape traffic for a half day on the beach. When you keep an ice scraper in your trunk just in case in June. When at last count, you have no less than 5 different Red Sox hats somewhere in your house. And you know you're from around here when the only pizza that will do is Papa Gino's. With dough made fresh daily in Walpole, Mass. from just 5 simple ingredients and a family recipe that hasn't changed in 80 years. Nothing else tastes like Papa Gino's. Or you can eat pizza and pasta for just $4.99, Monday through Wednesday, 4 to 8 p.m. Dine in only.
It's Jim from Ace Ticket. We know you have lots of choices when it comes to buying tickets, but here's the Ace difference. You see, while other ticket sellers just mark up and resell other people's tickets, at Ace Ticket we own the tickets we sell. Because we own them, we sell them for less. And because we own them, we also offer a 200% guarantee. They're our tickets, so we know they're real. For all your ticket needs, buy direct and save. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit aceticket.com.
Smith with a play fake, drops back, looks to throw. Alex Smith rears back, throws down the right side. He's got Hunt behind the defense, running to the 35-30, to the 15-10, chased by Butler, and into the end zone with a touchdown, his second of the night for Kansas City.
Are you kidding me? Alex Smith right down the gut. You're going to have all day to throw. He looks left. I thought he was going to throw the fade to the left side. Jordan Richards is 2 weeks too late on the blitz. And it's just an utter mismatch with him on Marsh running up the middle of the field with zero safety help.
Well, we'll, I think, call this the onion game. The more you peel it back, the more it stinks. Welcome back to the Patriots post-game show, presented by Xbox One. Jim Murray, Andy Hart, Paul Perillo, 42-27 the final, and it's the Chiefs on the
Jim, Andy is waving at you.
Yes, Andy?
I got a theory.
What's your theory?
What do you call this, Paul? Take development?
All right, so take development.
Okay.
You got my attention now. I told you I'd be writing when you did this, but now I'm
Bill
listening.
Belichick's biggest theme of the offseason.
You haven't accomplished anything yet.
Right, and
You
you're
dumped the
not
game
what?
tonight?
You're not what?
Champion?
You're not the 07 team. You're not a champion. You ain't bleep.
Right. So you think you dumped the game tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teaching point, coachable
All right,
moment. What better way to prove to a team you ain't crap than go 0-1? And by the way, 18-1 seasons where the 1 is the first game and not the last game,
much better,
a lot more enjoyable.
And I'm going to tell you this right now.
You kind of like it, huh?
Can I?
He's smirking. He kind of likes the theory.
I like it for the boldness of it, but at the heart of it, like.
But the boobishness of it.
Okay, now you're not overly serious, right?
No, but what are we saying was one of the weakest points of the team tonight?
The coaching.
How often do we say that?
I could tell you
Virtually never.
4 times out of the last 6 games in 15, but that's okay.
Okay. Virtually never, correct? The coaching is rarely on the bad, rarely the biggest point.
Totally
Especially
agree.
the coaching to the point of it's Belichick, McDaniels, and Patricia all like equally.
Yeah.
It would almost look like they threw it.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this.
Are you going to speak slowly and use small words so I can understand it?
I'm not belittling you because I know what you're doing. I'm going to guarantee this is a stone cold lock that you will hear that from Patriots Nation during the week from more than one caller, both on PFW in Progress and on the Sports Hub. That will be thrown out there that they threw it. It was a teachable moment. They try things out. They experiment
Bill's
early.
playing chess while the rest of you is playing checkers.
They experiment early in the season. These games aren't that important. It's an extension of the preseason.
Why else would you have Cassius Marsh out
Because
wide?
if I ever saw an extension of the preseason, that was tonight defensively. Because they did that the whole preseason.
Well, Cassius Marsh didn't. He wasn't here. He just gave me a blank. And I have one more cheap shot.
Do you agree that you're going to hear that, though?
Yeah, I think.
But you're going to hear
and I'm
serious.
taking credit for it. Was my
You're going to
idea.
hear serious takes.
I don't know if I want credit for it. Let me rethink that, too. That's in take development. And the other thing is, we talked about it pregame, the whole idea of extending the Deflategate stuff with the towels and the shirts and Roger and...
That was just poor to me.
It was, and I think it was nice of Barstool to give Patriots fans towels to cry in after the game. Because that's what those towels are being used for. And I think you got your comeuppance, quite frankly.
You became the first team to open the Super Bowl defense with a loss at home.
Oh, crap, I forgot about that.
Right, so is that 11-1 now?
11-1 now. First ever defending Super Bowl champion to lose the home Thursday night opener.
I liked elements of the pregame ceremony. I didn't like the constant 28-3s. on the scoreboard.
See, that didn't bother me as much as that was actually the last game they played, and it's actually the reason you put up a banner. The towels that we're going to just continue to MF this guy a year and a half, 2 years later, like
the last game you
get
played,
over it.
The last
you
game
got
you
the last
played-
laugh. He had to hand you the greatest honor that he can hand over to a team.
But it wasn't good enough, Andy. They should have smashed it over his head.
Right.
But at least we got
Well,
our
guess what got
closure.
smashed over heads? Your game tonight got smashed over your
Yeah,
head
see,
with your cute little teal towel, which I still don't really understand why it was that color. And
Yeah, did Portnoy ever explain that?
What's that?
What the
color of the towel?
Was there any
was it
reason
cheaper or
behind the
something?
color?
Did the Marlins not, pick up some that they had ordered, so he used those?
Yeah, my only point about the 28-3 thing, Andy, and I get that was the last game they played, and this was the final celebration of winning that.
Now it's done.
But why didn't it say 34-28 on the scoreboard? Like, I think you were intentionally trying to mock Atlanta with that.
Well, but that's where it started, the greatest comeback in history.
No, everybody knows that.
I mean, they did it with the rings. They put 283 diamonds in the damn thing.
Okay, I get it. And that would be great if you didn't tell everybody about it. I think you're intentionally kicking sand in their face.
I agree to a point, but I mean, that 28-3 thing, that's now synonymous with that Super Bowl forever.
Right.
Why is that? Because we will not stop telling you about it.
Yeah, because no one's ever seen anything like that.
I'll bet you
That
Bill
little bit
doesn't
of
like it.
That little amount of
I
time.
bet you Bill didn't like that on the scoreboard.
You think he
tonight.
liked the towels?
No.
I think he did.
No,
I
don't
think he's
he
boys
did.
with Portnoy. I think he likes that.
I think Patricia probably liked it.
And he probably had his shirt on underneath.
All right, let's get to you guys. As soon as
I think there was a little karma involved in that.
855-PAT-500. I would agree to a point with that.
I think
too.
you got karma tonight.
I think that there
you
is
took some
something to
karma
that.
straight up the bunghole.
Yeah. From the football gods.
Yes.
John in North Carolina, your thoughts on tonight's beatdown by the Kansas City Chiefs. What's up?
Well, the game was a bigger fraud than Michael Bennett's arrest. It's victimized arrest.
Okay. Yeah, we'll stay away from politics and race on this show for right
Yeah.
now. We have enough hot topics to talk about.
Yeah,
but yes, it was a fraudulent show.
I could really get myself in trouble with that one, so I'm going to stay away. But yeah, tonight was as bad as it gets, John. And I was as wrong as I've ever been calling one of these games.
Well, I knew we were in trouble when I saw Jordan Richards, and this Collinsworth didn't notice it until fourth quarter, but he was in there early. I knew we were in
He
trouble.
started. Yeah. He started at linebacker. You know that, right?
Preseason experiment going bad.
Right.
Here they're
Yeah.
doing it in a real game.
Yeah, Bill bitch slapped us when he was asked about it, I believe, the day after the preseason game. And, I always warn you guys, don't jump to conclusions about position changes and moving guys around. It's really just about building flexibility and depth. Well, guess what? If he's playing linebacker in the very first game of the year when you have, theoretically, your roster, like you haven't been besieged by a rash of injuries, right? Yeah, this is the first game of the year, and you chose to put him there. Like, you cut Jonathan Freeney, who, whatever I think of him, it says LB next to his name.
Yeah.
You started him at linebacker last year. So you chose to put Jordan Richards in essentially a linebacker role. He was the fourth safety on the field, the sixth defensive back on the field, and then they ran the ball right down your bleeping throat. And
It's three years. I've never seen Jordan Richards do anything. You guys see practices.
Well, he did cause a fumble on the first play.
And I've never seen him do anything in 3 years except special teams.
he had a good start to training camp this year. He the first day he fought Gronk in the end zone for a jump ball, and he ripped it out of his hands for the incompletion.
I don't get to see that stuff. But thank you.
Yeah, 3 years in, I should have more than just one play and one practice of training camp to point to for what a second-round pick is added to the
No, I totally agree with John on Richards. I thought there was a
But
real
it's not
chance-
on Richards.
All right, you
No,
don't have to
that's
yell.
on the coaching staff.
Yes.
You
You
don't
don't
have
have to
Jordan
yell.
Richards from the rip. Like,
What? I mean, we talked to him.
I was just going to say I was surprised that he even made the team in the first
We
place.
talked to
I thought
him.
he would go.
When did we talk to him? Before the fourth preseason game for our production meetings.
Mhm.
And he was sort of joking and laughing about being a linebacker, being asked to do it, and,
How different it is up there. and-
how different, and talking to guys about what to expect, and all these different things. Not that he wasn't taking it seriously, because he was. He said the first things he worried about was, calls and seeing the game and how fast things happen and, responsibilities. But that's not on him. That's on Bill. It's like when Bill started Eric Alexander in an AFC title game. The first start of his career was in an AFC title game. And then you're surprised that Eric Alexander can't hang with Dallas Clark? Or whatever the hell, is that the right, might get the right errors, Paul? I mean,
I wasn't paying attention.
it's a decision made by the head coach who, give him credit, he often thinks outside the box. He often does things that are a little different. He did things that were a little different on day one, opening night, and it didn't work at all.
Jose in Mexico, you're next here in the Patriots post-game show presented by Xbox One. Hello, Jose.
Hello, guys. Good night.
How are you?
Thank you so much for having the show. Great.
It's actually good morning.
Oh, good morning, then. Well, just surprised about the result. I believe that everyone is surprised about it. But I would like to tell every Pats fan to calm down. I mean, it's the first game. Obviously, we didn't expect any of this. But, I mean, you know how the Patriots work. Every time that they get talking from the outside and being criticized, they always rally around it and build up. That's first. And the second, I was really surprised about the secondary, to be honest with you. Those 2 touchdowns that were, I believe, over 70 yards, I was really surprised about it. I mean, we're supposed to be having a really prepared defense or a high-quality defense, and this is what we're getting. Well, that was really sad. And one last thing, I don't know if you guys remember what happened when you lost to the Chiefs the last time.
Oh, I already brought that up, baby. Minnesota, here we come.
And
Nothing
they
says
never
Super Bowl
lost
team
again.
like an ass whooping at the hands of the Chiefs.
Exactly. I mean, we lost to the Chiefs, and after that, we had all of this talk about Brady's done, Belichick is done. You know, that happens. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just the first game, 0-1, well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We still have more games to play and more season. I mean, let's enjoy that the season has just begun. Yeah, it's bittersweet, but hey, we had football back.
There's nothing bittersweet about tonight.
No, yeah.
Tonight was an ass
Thank you
kicking.
for the call. There's nothing bittersweet about
I mean,
tonight. This is awful.
nobody's writing the season off. None of our callers are writing the season off. Nobody's overreacting. But there was nothing bittersweet about that game tonight.
And there's also concerning, at least to me, quotes that I'm seeing from some of the players. And we'll get to, I believe we'll get to Tom Brady's press conference a little later in the show. But there's 2 have stood out to me. This from Nate Solder, who said tonight, I don't think the average person knows how truly difficult it is to win a game. And maybe this team doesn't know that. And I saw Mark Daniels of the Providence Journal tweet Tom Brady say in his press conference, we got to do a lot better in a lot of areas, starting with our attitude and our competitiveness.
Really?
So, you know, look, it's one game, but you don't ever really have to worry about a bad mix in the locker room or a bad mix with this team.
Not
There's
since
so many
09.
It's a new faces. That 09 team. It's one of the most hated Patriots teams of all time. It was a bad mix. It was a bad, there was...
Paul, who told you this could be a concern?
We were wondering about turds in the punch bowl.
Early on,
Really?
too many
In the
newcomers.
offseason, a lot of newcomers.
Affecting some that were here and there. Like, Gilmore's here. He got the money. Butler's not. How the mix would come together of all those egos, roles,
But I'm not
contracts.
necessarily sure that this is turd the punch bowl problem as much as it is maybe some guys. And you made a joke tonight, Andy, during the game. They had the Super Bowl LI patch on.
Right.
And Andy goes, I don't think Gilmore should have one on. He wasn't here
shouldn't.
last year.
Why does he get to wear a Super Bowl 50?
Right,
He
good
watched.
point.
I
Right.
should get one too. Then I watched the game too. Stefan. Sorry.
My point was that some of these guys that are now part of this that may think that they were part of that,
right?
And they know what it takes.
And
to
that's
win.
my point.
You know?
Bill has been trying to tell them, you
You're
weren't
nothing.
part of that. You ain't crap right now, son. And what best way to teach that lesson than throw the open?
And I
can't
wonder,
even say it.
I wonder if maybe there were some signs all week that like the veterans like Solder and Brady. I'm sure there were plenty of others. So we're not ready to play. These guys think we have this game won already. They're buying in.
But
They're
who's these
listening.
guys?
Enough guys on the team that really
Newcomers,
hadn't
you
been
mean?
through it.
Young guys? Like, what are we talking about?
Young guys, newcomers. Even. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily just rookies for this year, but even young guys that had success last year. They think that's what you do. You come in, you win a Super Bowl.
Could Cooks be one of these guys?
Sure.
Yeah, Cooks,
Gillisley,
Gilmore.
I'm going to include them.
Gillisley,
Burkhead.
Burkhead. I mean, there's a lot of guys that haven't had any success yet.
Because I don't
And I'm
picture
not blaming them.
that way.
But let's not put this like that. Like we're blaming the
No.
newcomers.
No,
And I'm
wait a
not
minute.
saying
Time
they have
out.
a bad
We're not the
attitude.
ones posing it.
No, but he's
Players
not,
are posing it.
The players are posing it, but they're not telling you who they're posing it about.
Yeah, but that's our
We're
job. We
speculating.
speculate and we dig deep.
But I just want to be careful with that.
I mean, it could be Brady. He's not taking it seriously.
Yeah, he thinks.
But for him to say, that pops
I just
want
want to include everybody.
To see him talk about our attitude and our competitiveness. The latter, that's obvious. And we talked about this during the break, Paul. I mean, that last 6 minutes, they quit.
Yeah.
They straight up quit. Yeah, so that I can understand, but the attitude, that's going to be something to keep
And
an eye
by the
on.
way, that's one thing. One thing, Paul Perillo, right? Let's
Yes.
harken back to Kansas City, 2015. 14. What happened?
Well, they quit.
Did
See,
they?
I think this is we could have a whole
'Cause
show
I saw
about this. You know this.
postseason- I saw post.
The whole theme was that was when he learned that they had.
That's
had
when
fight.
Bill knew he had a Super Bowl team.
I think they rolled over and died that night in the second half.
But
especially 12.
So are we gonna?
He was sitting on the bench pouting while Garoppolo was out there throwing passes, and that's what led your boy Giardi to ask about, is the quarterback position being evaluated this week?
But my point
But
is,
I thought they quit that night.
Right? Did they quit tonight?
I thought they quit in the last 5 minutes.
Will Bill tell you they quit now, and then tell you on February 17th when he tapes a DVD director's cut that's when he knew he had a champion?
No, that's when he'll tell you the whole thing about the plan to throw this game. Because we thought we'd see them down the road and we didn't want to show anything.
You're coming around to my side. I like the way you think, Perillo.
No, but that's where all those DVDs go.
Well, let's go to Luke in California real quick.
What's up, Luke?
Luke, you're next here on the Patriots postgame show.
Hey guys, thanks for the game.
Good, what's up?
I have a couple quick things. I couldn't disagree with Alex anymore. I honestly thought Rex Burkhead had a pretty good game. I thought Tom had a terrible first half.
What did Rex Burkhead do? Just out of curiosity, what did Rex
nice run, didn't he?
And he had two bad ones and a short catch.
But there was one play, though, that he threw to Gronk when Gronk didn't get out to it. Rex Burkhead easily burned his linebacker on a double move, was wide open for a touchdown. I thought he got open. I thought he exposed a couple linebackers a couple times, and Tom made some bad throws. I'm not saying he did a lot, but I think...
I thought there was a play that Tom wanted to go to him, hell or high water in the end zone, and he was blanketed by Terry
Yeah, that was a terrible
by
decision.
Alexander. No, I agree. That was good. I think I didn't get 3 targets on the game, and that was the one I thought he was actually legitimate.
One catch for 8 yards, 3 runs for 15 yards, and one of those runs was a 14-yard run.
But the stats don't show a wide open misread by Tom Brady throwing it to a Gronk that didn't get out wide. Regardless, aside from Rex Burkhead, I do think also the offensive line had a tale of two halves. Their first half was very good, and their second half was pretty not good. And then Tom Brady kind of flipped, where he had a really bad half and should have taken advantage of this good protection. And then in the second half, he kind of faltered, played better once the offensive line started to play worse.
You thought Brady played better in the second half
than the first half?
I thought he was terrible throughout, to be honest with you. He was below 50% completion percentage for the majority of the game. I don't think he was very sharp from his first throw to his last throw.
Tell you what, Luke, I'm going to let you go. You're a little too positive for my taste right now.
Wow.
Salty in this game.
Salty Big Jim.
It's the California thing. It's a nice place to visit. I
would just respectfully disagree with a couple of the things. I mean, I actually didn't think Burkhead did anything wrong. I wouldn't put him. I agree with Luke on Alex. Alex was like, I hate Rex Burkhead. I don't want to see him. I'm like, what did he do wrong? And then him coming in saying he had a great game. Now I'm saying, whoa. What did he do right? I mean, I just thought he was out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll continue to take your calls. You want to weigh in. I know a lot of you want to vent about
batting
tonight's
curse.
hideous loss to the Kansas City Chiefs here. Unthinkable. I thought it would be close. I took the Chiefs in the points. I thought it might be like 28-20 would be the final, something like that. I didn't think it would be 42-27 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs tonight over the Patriots to open up the season. So we'll take more of your calls, and we'll hear from quarterback Tom Brady after this loss, right after this here, the Patriots postgame show, presented by Xbox One.
Tom Brady actually did really good.
Of the
It
season
was the
with
coaching
New
and
England
the
Patriots
secondary that did
24/7
horrible.
team station on TuneIn. Between the action on Sunday, listen in as Patriots insiders take you beyond the locker room with interviews with players and coaches, post-game and post-practice press conferences, game previews, analysis, and more. Listen to the New England Patriots 24/7 team station year-round on TuneIn.
Patriot Place in Foxborough is New England's premier entertainment, dining, and shopping destination. Experience the Hall at Patriot Place, presented by Raytheon, an interactive museum dedicated to the history of New England football. The family will want to check out the latest movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, shop retailers, and the region's only Bass Pro Shops. And of course, there's always dinner and drinks as you dine outdoors and take in a sunset or the view overlooking Gillette Stadium. Get ready to roll in and rock out at Splitsville Luxury Lanes featuring Howl at the Moon. And enjoy the ultimate in pampering at Green Tangerine Spa and Salon. Experience world-class medical care at Brigham and Women's Mass General Healthcare Center located on site at Patriot Place. And enjoy overnight accommodations at the region's only 4-star hotel, the Renaissance Boston Patriot Place Hotel. Special events are always happening at Patriot Place, from Kids Club Story Time every Tuesday to the area's largest classic car display. Patriot Place is located in Foxborough next to Gillette Stadium, and parking is free. Visit patriot-place.com for a complete store and restaurant hours and event listing. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy.
A better network, as explained by the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker.
Hi there. As the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker, I'm powerful. How powerful? Verizon 4G LTE network powerful. So powerful you can stream local and primetime NFL games live on your smartphone powerful. That's if I were Verizon's 4G LTE network, which I'm not. I am muscles.
Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile. Included only on Verizon. Better matters.
Data usage applies, available on select devices.
Want to be a Patriots season ticket holder? Join the Patriots season ticket holder waitlist and get in the game. Be first in line to purchase Patriots season tickets as they become available, and receive exclusive access to the Patriots Ticket Exchange and other amenities such as access to playoff tickets, Gillette Stadium concert pre-sales, and much more. Get on the list. Get in the game. Visit patriots.com/the list to join today. We've heard it all. Greatest comeback, greatest quarterback, greatest coach. And now there's the greatest new way to enjoy Friendly's ice cream and all your other Friendly's favorites. Introducing Friendly's new mobile app and online ordering service. You don't have to worry about overtime because your order will be ready when you are. Go to friendlys.olo.com. And when you open an account, you'll get 50% off your first online order. Friendlys.olo.com. It's the greatest. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop has everything you need to show your pride on game day and every day. Choose from the widest selection of hats, tees, authentic jerseys, and much more, including Pro Shop exclusives and sideline gear from Adidas, Nike, and New Era. The Pro Shop is located next to Gillette Stadium and is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or shop online 24/7 at patriotsproshop.com. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop. Your team, your store.
A lot of people talk about giving their best. They talk about leaving it all on the field. But how do you know if it's enough? The simple fact is, you don't. But that's why you keep going. Keep working. Keep doing your job. And in the end, your results will show exactly how much you gave. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
Follow the Patriots like never before with the official Patriots mobile apps for iPhone, Android, and iPad. Get instant access to all the latest news, stats, and analysis, plus live Patriots Game Center. Search New England Patriots in your device's app marketplace to get the latest Patriots news, audio, and video in the palm of your hand. Download the official Patriots mobile apps today and stay connected.
Out of the timeout, Smith has two receivers tight left, two receivers tight right. Hunt to his right, takes the snap, tosses it, two hands to Hunt, runs to the right corner, got away from Harmon, dives to the pylon. It's going to be ruled a touchdown. Kareem Hunt with his third score of the evening for Kansas City.
And I mean, he checked to it too. He did that dig across the body with the right arm, did Alex Smith. Oh, Kansas City came in and they're hanging 35 on you right now.
And welcome back to the Patriots postgame show, presented by Xbox One. Jim Murray, Paul Perillo, Andy Hart. The touchdowns there from the Kareem Hunt running back. I didn't think he was going to have that kind of a night. He fumbled on his first NFL carry, and then he goes off to have 148 yards, a rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns.
Is he on fantasy teams everywhere, or is he a pickup?
You know, I don't know how many people would actually have him start.
Because if not,
it's a 70-point night for him.
He just made himself.
Points.
But I mean, he made himself. Whoa, you know, I got.
The fantasy nerds would be lusting for.
We'll talk to Frankie Grimes about him next week.
Especially those guys that work at DraftKings.
Oh yeah. Bet you Bill had him on his fantasy team, knowing he was going to allow him to.
But he was just part of this
He's
hideous...
still going with that, even to this third segment now.
I'm trying to spin a positive, Paul.
Hideous loss to the Chiefs, 42-27.
Brady didn't get hurt, by the way. Another positive when you play the Chiefs. He didn't get hurt.
And right, yeah.
And one of those Justin
At least
Houston
not
sacks had the
physically.
potential to hurt him.
Emotionally, he may be a little
If he was able to get hurt, he would have gotten hurt on that play.
That's true. It's hard for him.
But he can't get hurt.
We'll hear from the quarterback in just a moment. First, though, Mark in the Bay, you're up next here on the Patriots postgame show. Hello, Mark.
All right, so the first thing I want to get to is the trolling that you guys touched on earlier. It goes much deeper than what was on the scoreboard, too. I guess the Bud glasses that they passed out tonight, they produced 28,300 of those, which ties into some of our troubles tonight.
Oh, no, they had way more than those.
The fans seem focused on trolling Goodell. The organization seemed focused on trolling the Falcons, the team we weren't even playing tonight. The players seemed focused on celebrating 51. Meanwhile, there was a team with talented players on the other side of the field flying under the radar. So here's what I learned after watching tonight's game. Patricia's calls were totally crap. My favorite of all was when they put number 55, a guy who hasn't even been here a week, on a guy I said we'd better watch out for last week on your sister show, and their best offensive player on the field tonight. Gilmore looked weak. Harmon sucked donkey balls. We lost two key players. The rest had blinders on. No one had any sustained energy. No ability to adjust, especially with regard to Hunt. And Brady looks 40 and pedestrian. And before I go, Paul, I got to ask, how do you like that blunt-like pedestrian performance average yard-wise?
I actually just wrote that.
Or Gillisley.
I just wrote that. It was a very blunt-like performance. Much like I said, anybody can average 3 yards a carry and score touchdowns.
Amazing.
And that was proven.
And they made it through a call without getting hung up on. What a night.
Can I just correct one thing? Every fan, I believe, got one of those glasses. So
There was at least 70,000.
There was a lot more than 28,000.
Every media member except Paul and I.
Yeah, I think Andy and I were the only two that didn't get it.
But, I mean, there were a ton of those.
Do you guys want to fight for the one that I got?
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I got to watch the game in a box.
Oh, you found your way in?
Oh, yeah.
Nice job.
I had never been in one of those. It's quite fancy.
It's quite fancy.
I love when it turns into that
I can
guy.
see why they charge a significant sum for those.
Well, there was better food in there than there was in the media room.
Obviously.
They
The
also-
chicken parm sucks.
They also have a private lab that they can use.
They have these girls, and I just can't tell you what they do for you.
When my buddy,
You may call them fluffers.
when my buddy told me there was lobster rolls, I ran like my hair was on fire.
Lobster roll.
Jamie in Calgary here next year on the Patriots postgame show. Hello, Jamie.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
Not much. Frustrating game to say the least. I agree with the last caller. I think Brady definitely looked 40 and very pedestrian. Gillespie looked, exactly like you said, very much like Blunt. And I think the loss of Dante Hightower hurt far more than I thought at the time. Yeah, it was just frustrating all around. I thought that the play calls were terrible. You have it 4th and inches. You have a quarterback who's 6'3", 6'4", and you can't just, nose it up an inch or two.
That's what I said.
Yet you hand it off to Gillespie 4 yards in the backfield and get stuffed twice. It was a very, very, very frustrating game to watch. But I do agree. I think that they're going to be fine. Mark my words. I think they'll go into New Orleans, play a beat down on the Saints next week. They'll learn from this. It's a learning game. But still, definitely, when you raise the banner, you want to have a little bit better of a showing than that.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly, Jamie, and thanks very much for the phone call. Here's the good news. It can't get worse, can it? I mean, that was...
I'm not sure they could play a worse game than that. I really am not. I don't think that's hyperbole.
But
I mean, I suppose
you think very little of Alex Smith, and you were home. You're going to New Orleans
which
against Drew Brees.
can be a bit of a
an
hornet's
offense
nest.
that people generally assume can put up yards and points at home, right? And was the infamous setting of I just can't get this team to do what I want to do.
Oh, in 2009, the Monday night game.
you are
right.
all in on team
No.
dysfunction.
Actually, I think it's a pure lock that they win this week, even just for Big Jim Murray's streak.
Well, right, yeah. So I thank you for tweeting that to me towards the end of this game. For those that don't know, you see, since I've joined here doing the Patriots pre and post game show here at Patriots.com, the team is now 0-4 The only win that they had was a game I didn't work. Next week, I'll be in New Orleans. Watch them win. All right, let's hear from the quarterback, Tom Brady, who, the last couple of callers believe felt like he looked 40 years old tonight. Here's Tom Brady after tonight's brutal loss to the Kansas City Chiefs.
How you doing, guys?
Tom, I'll start down here. The 2 4th-and-1s, obviously frustrating to not convert those. What did you see on that, and was a sneak at all a thought in your mind on either of those?
I think it's just better execution. I mean, we just, situational football is always important to us, and short yardage, and a lot of things that we need to do a better job of. So it was pretty just a very poor effort, and we're gonna have to do a lot better.
Tom, it looked like it'd be a fast start like you guys had hoped for in the first quarter. The Gronk touchdown is called back, and the 4th-and-1 doesn't go your way. What sort of changed after that you guys weren't able to string drives together?
Yeah, that was a disappointing play. I mean, that would have been a big play in the game, and didn't make it, and didn't make a lot of plays tonight actually. So we just have to be a lot better in a lot of areas, and starting with our attitude and our competitiveness, and we have to do a lot better tonight.
Tom, the offense has struggled in the last few years without Julian. What does the offense just have to do to play better without him on the field?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to play better. It's a long year, so we've got 15 games. We're going to have to do a better job, and he's not coming back. So the guys that are in there are going to have to do a good job. Every position that we have is going to have to do a better job than we did tonight. There was nothing really positive about anything that was done, so, we got to, get back to work. We got 9 days before our next game, and hopefully we played out better than tonight.
Tom, did the Chiefs do anything in particular to take away kind of the short middle area of the field? It felt like a lot of your attempts were more towards the outside part of the field.
Yeah, they did. They packed it in there pretty good. We made a couple plays, and then we missed a lot of plays. So, if that's how teams are going to play us, then we got to make plays where they're not. And I always say, I'm going to throw it where they're not, and we just, didn't come up with nothing.
Tom, you said something about it has to start with the attitude. What didn't you like from that aspect?
I just think we need to, have more urgency, and go out there and perform a lot better. And that, is a winning attitude and a championship attitude that you need to bring every day. And we had it handed to us on our own field, and it's a terrible feeling. And the only people that can do something about it are in that locker room. We got to dig a lot deeper than we did tonight, because we didn't dig very deep tonight.
Tom, I'm curious your thoughts on 2 players you played a regular season game with for the first time. Just Mike Gillislee with the 3 touchdown runs, and then Cooks on the long passes in the second half, where it seemed like that created some good things for you.
Yeah, Mike ran really hard. We're going to need that all season from him. So, he ran hard. Cookie made a lot of plays. Drew, I think, 4 or 5 pass interference penalties, and along with his receptions. So, wish I'd have hit him on that post there, second to last drive. So I got to figure out what I got to do better.
Tom, with Julian out and then Malcolm Mitchell going on IR today, I mean, in the fourth quarter, you look at the 3 wide, and it's Brandon Cooks and Philip Dorsett are 2 of the receivers. They're in their first game as Patriots. Were you and Josh at all limited in what you could do to counter the Chiefs because of the inexperience of some of the guys in the field?
I think Philip knew what to do, and we just have to execute better. I mean, different guys are called on at different times, and he went in there, and I wasn't worried about him, and we just all got to do a better job, everyone. Last one.
Tom, you mentioned attitude and competitiveness. Your teams over the years obviously have always been known for being strong in those areas. So in that context, was it shocking tonight that was an issue to you?
Well, we didn't have it the way we needed it tonight. So it's got to be at a much higher level next week and the rest of the year. So that's going to be a big point of emphasis for all of us. So thank you guys. Have a good night.
Patriots quarterback Tom Brady after tonight's loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Kudos to those following up about that, about the attitude and the competitiveness. Because the immediate question afterwards had nothing to do with that. And I was like, God, someone follow up with that, because there's something there. Am I reading too much into this? That Brady said something about that? The attitude and competitiveness, the way that this team quit at the end there. You guys mentioned turds in the punch bowl. It feels like there might be a Debbie Downer in that locker room. Someone.
I'm just wondering if there are guys that, are standing on third base that think they hit a triple. You know what I mean?
I like the way he put that.
Somewhere
Coney Ely's like, and I was the problem.
But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Now, obviously, he would be the embodiment of it. He's gone. But I wonder if there's a few guys that really haven't accomplished anything that think they have.
Who are you thinking?
I don't know. That's why I don't want to speculate. I'm never afraid to throw crap out there, Andy. But this is something I'm just hearing this, from when Jim started reading the tweets.
Is it
we hear
real,
from Tom now,
or is it nip in the bud?
Maybe nip in the bud.
I think it's nip in the bud, personally. I think it's an extension of Belichick, of tough love, and maybe there's a hint of something. Brandon Cooks. I'm just throwing an example out there. I don't necessarily think he's a guy or have any idea that he could be a guy. It could be any kind of a problem, but he catches it and he struts a little, and you just maybe they're just saying, it's the first game, we haven't done any. Let's strut late, And this is sort of nip it in the butt. A parent that goes, or the teacher the first day of school who's really mean and sets the tone, because you can always lighten up and lax in the rules, and that may not be a word, but loosen the rules, but you can't go the other way. If you start out loose, it's hard to rein it back in later. I just feel like maybe there's some of that from the head coach, from the quarterback, who, let's be honest, he's not a player. He's not one of the 45. He's not. It's one and then everybody else. I'm above you, and I think they are all okay with that. So he's the assistant principal. The disciplinarian, the assistant principal?
Yeah.
Well, he's saying that. He's not talking to you. He's not talking to me. He's talking for people to hear it, and for it to be sort of heard throughout the team, so that it's felt, and we kick our own asses this week, and we come out frothing at the mouth, and you know what I mean? That's what he's doing. It's nip in the bud.
Something to keep an eye on, though. You usually don't hear the quarterback say something like that. I understand he's mad. He's hot after an ugly loss like this. Again, 42-27 is the final. There's not many positives to take from this one, other than the last time the Patriots allowed 41-plus points, September 29, 2014, against Kansas City. We all know what ended up happening that year. Let's go to Eduardo in Miami, who's been hanging a bit. You're next here on the Patriots postgame show. Hello, Eduardo.
Hola.
Hello.
What are we doing?
Good, what's up?
Terrible.
Not as bad as here the next couple of days here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, that's real world. I was saying terrible in like a sports sense. Don't make me feel bad.
Absolutely. Couple things real quick. On the downside, TB12.
Yep.
Gronk looked like he was 4 years old. He could not get separation. He just wanted to throw his hands up and call for interference every single time.
He played like a slow bitch tonight, and I hate to see that. He's my favorite player, one of my favorite players of all time. He played like a slow bitch. I can't get open, so I'm going to act like one of those little receivers, and every time I can't get open, throw a hand up like you interfered with me. I like when Gronk goes into it thinking, I don't care how much you touch me, I'm going to catch the ball, and then we'll wave off the flag after I caught it for 25, and you're the bitch.
Yeah, he made a play on the left hand side where Barry was on him. He made a close catch, and that looked like the old Gronk.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Everything else is sour taste in my mouth.
Yep, like Marmite.
Yeah. Number 12, he looked 40 years old. So TB12, the whole program, throw it out the window, of course.
That's right. The two guys who are like the poster boys this summer for the TB12 method, Gronk, Brady, I'll throw in Edelman. How'd they look so far? One had to hold a trophy before the game. He's not allowed to play anymore. The other two looked like they were 40. One of them's only like 27.
Yeah, this is what you get for being afraid of strawberries.
Right. Go. You know what Gronk needs to do tonight?
Strawberry.
Go pound about 15 beers, have a couple burgers with it, and come back as the frat boy tight end who bounces all over the field that we've come to know and love.
He played like a guy who suddenly showed up with a three-piece suit on him.
Right. He's not himself.
This ain't me.
Just rip the damn thing off, pound a beer like Stone Cold, smash them together, throw them, and then score.
Yeah. Even
Good to see Insane Andy is here.
for a good. I'm going to say Edelman, seeing him on the field with that the trophy, that was pretty nice for everyone, and I imagine for himself too. So
never good when one of the goods on the list is from the pregame ceremony.
Right. Yeah.
That's a bad sign for the game.
That's how bad it was. One more thing. I have a quick question, guys. I'm not up to date with the whole planks and everything. What happened to Lucien? Is he still out there? Or,
Yeah.
or
He's a free agent.
he's a free agent? Oh, nice. We have
Well, as far as that, did he get picked up by somebody, Andy? I shouldn't say that. Don't. He's not.
He's not with the Patriots.
He's not with the Patriots. I don't know if anybody picked him up.
Well, it would be nice to bring him back because, our offense basically looked like, remember that game against Denver where Gronk and Edelman were both out? It was just throwing out to Scott Chandler, like, on the seams every freaking time. That's how it was tonight. It was just,
But
the Matt Mulligan Oscar colleague.
But there's a big difference that when they were throwing the ball to Brandon Cooks and to Rob Gronkowski and to Chris Hogan and guys that are better than Devin Lucien, I don't think they were lacking options tonight. They just didn't get open. The ones that they had didn't do a great job of getting open.
No, we can't rave about the depth of weapons all summer, and then they get their ass kicked and say, well, you had nobody to throw to.
I don't think that was the case.
I thought the
then at
Patriots
all.
had like the best passing backs in the NFL, a trio of them, and 2 tight ends that can play, and a number of receivers, and he's tight with Hogan, who's coming off a great camp, and the trust is there. No, we can't. I mean, sorry, you get your ass kicked. I'm not saying pull the plug on the season, and none of these guys will ever work together, and we'll never see this cohesive offense come together. But I mean, you had a speed bump. Let's say what it's that, right?
Yeah.
You look like you're overreacting.
I'm a little overreact. I'm feeling a little overreactish right now. I am. These quotes I'm reading here from Nate Solder and the ones we heard from Brady. I'm a little concerned.
But
I've never seen this. I don't know if I've seen this team play this bad with the weapons that they have. I don't want to believe that Brady's all of a sudden like hit the wall because he's 40 years old. Any of that kind of stuff. You know the things that are going to happen between now and the game in New Orleans 9 days from now.
Too many days to talk about this
Way
game.
too many days.
You people. You even got like a Friday and then a full week.
Right.
So it's not even that you just have a full week. You have a Friday and then you think about it over the weekend. You guys can go watch because there'll be teams that look really good.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Pittsburgh will blow out the Browns. You know, all 3 of those stars in the Steelers uniform will be making all these. Everybody will be like, Patriots. They might be like the 5th best team in the conference now. Oh, my God, the overreacting that's going to come.
That's the takes. Drowning in takes.
Little does anybody know that Belichick threw the game.
We have 1 segment to go. We'll hear from head coach Bill Belichick. Maybe someone's going to ask him whether or not he threw tonight's game. Right after this, along with more of your phone calls, we'll get to the emails as well. It's the Patriots Postgame Show presented by Xbox One.
Don't miss a moment of the season with the New England Patriots 24/7 team station on TuneIn. Between the action on Sunday, listen in as Patriots insiders take you beyond the locker room with interviews with players and coaches, post-game and post-practice press conferences, game previews, analysis, and more. Listen to the New England Patriots 24/7 team station year-round on TuneIn.
Patriot Place in Foxborough is New England's premier entertainment, dining, and shopping destination. Experience the Hall at Patriot Place, presented by Raytheon, an interactive museum dedicated to the history of New England football. The family will want to check out the latest movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe. Shop retailers and the region's only Bass Pro Shops. And of course, there's always dinner and drinks as you dine outdoors and take in a sunset or the view overlooking Gillette Stadium. Get ready to roll in and rock out at Splitsville Luxury Lanes featuring Howl at the Moon. And enjoy the ultimate in pampering at Green Tangerine Spa and Salon. Experience world-class medical care at Brigham and Women's Mass General Healthcare Center located on site at Patriot Place. And enjoy overnight accommodation at the region's only 4-star hotel, the Renaissance Boston Patriot Place Hotel. Special events are always happening at Patriot Place, from Kids Club story time every Tuesday to the area's largest classic car display. Patriot Place is located in Foxborough next to Gillette Stadium, and parking is free. Visit patriot-place.com for a complete store and restaurant hours and event listing. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy.
A better network, as explained by the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker.
Hi there. As the muscles of a New England Patriots linebacker, I'm powerful. How powerful? Verizon 4G LTE network powerful. So powerful you can stream local and primetime NFL games live on your smartphone powerful. That's if I were Verizon's 4G LTE network, which I'm not. I am muscles.
Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile, included only on Verizon. Better matters.
Data usage applies, available on select devices.
Want to be a Patriots season ticket holder? Join the Patriots season ticket holder waitlist and get in the game. Be first in line to purchase Patriots season tickets as they become available, and receive exclusive access to the Patriots Ticket Exchange and other amenities such as access to playoff tickets, Gillette Stadium concert pre-sales, and much more. Get on the list. Get in the game. Visit patriots.com/the list to join today. We've heard it all. greatest comeback, greatest quarterback, greatest coach, and now there's the greatest new way to enjoy Friendly's ice cream and all your other Friendly's favorites. Introducing Friendly's new mobile app and online ordering service. You don't have to worry about overtime because your order will be ready when you are. Go to friendlies.olo.com, and when you open an account, you'll get 50% off your first online order. friendlies.olo.com. It's the greatest. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop has everything you need to show your pride on game day and every day. Choose from the widest selection of hats, tees, authentic jerseys, and much more, including Pro Shop exclusives and sideline gear from Adidas, Nike, and New Era. The Pro Shop is located next to Gillette Stadium and is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or shop online 24/7 at patriotsproshop.com. The Patriots and Revolution Pro Shop. Your team, your store.
A lot of people talk about giving their best. They talk about leaving it all on the field. But how do you know if it's enough? The simple fact is, you don't. But that's why you keep going. Keep working. Keep doing your job. And in the end, your results will show exactly how much you gave. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
Follow the Patriots like never before with the official Patriots mobile apps for iPhone, Android, and iPad. Get instant access to all the latest news, stats, and analysis, plus live Patriots Game Center. Search New England Patriots in your device's app marketplace to get the latest Patriots news, audio, and video in the palm of your hand. Download the official Patriots mobile apps today and stay connected.
You know you're from around here when it's perfectly normal to sit in 6 hours of Cape traffic for a half day on the beach. When you keep an ice scraper in your trunk just in case, in June. When at last count, you have no less than 5 different Red Sox hats somewhere in your house. And you know you're from around here when the only pizza that will do is Papa Gino's. With dough made fresh daily in Walpole, Mass. from just 5 simple ingredients and a family recipe that hasn't changed in 80 years. Nothing else tastes like Papa Gino's. Or you can eat pizza and pasta for just $4.99, Monday through Wednesday, 4 to 8 p.m. Dine in only.
It's Jim from Ace Ticket. We know you have lots of choices when it comes to buying tickets, but here's the Ace difference. You see, while other ticket sellers just mark up and resell other people's tickets, at Ace Ticket we own the tickets we sell. Because we own them, we sell them for less. And because we own them, we also offer a 200% guarantee. They're our tickets, so we know they're real. For all your ticket needs, buy direct and save. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit aceticket.com.
1-800-MY-SEATS.
Patriot Place in Foxborough is New England's premier entertainment, dining, and shopping destination. Experience the Hall at Patriot Place, presented by Raytheon, an interactive museum dedicated to the history of New England football. The family will want to check out the latest movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, shop retailers, and the region's only Bass Pro Shops. And of course, there's always dinner and drinks as you dine outdoors and take in a sunset or the view overlooking Gillette Stadium. Get ready to roll in and rock out at Splitsville Luxury Lanes featuring Howl at the Moon, and enjoy the ultimate in pampering at Green Tangerine Spa and Salon. Experience world-class medical care at Brigham and Women's Mass General Healthcare Center, located on site at Patriot Place. And enjoy overnight accommodations at the region's only 4-star hotel, the Renaissance Boston Patriot Place Hotel. Special events are always happening at Patriot Place, from Kids Club story time every Tuesday to the area's largest classic car display. Patriot Place is located in Foxborough next to Gillette Stadium, and parking is free. Visit patriot-place.com for a complete store and restaurant hours and event listing. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy.
Now out of the I formation, Smith and the Chiefs in position to salt this one away. Hand up to Charkandrick West. He runs up the middle. Big hole past the 10 to the 5 into the end zone. Well, the Chiefs running it en route to the touchdown with 4 minutes to go. It has given Kansas City a 2-touchdown lead at 41-27.
Hey, Travis Kelce is such a tool bag. I mean, it's just like I said, when things aren't going well, you know, you could tell about players in this league how it's going. Can't handle success very well. He's never been one of those players, but give this team credit for coming in here and putting up 42. Because I mean, you name one person that thought this was going to happen. There aren't many, if any. Wow,
especially in Foxborough.
Wow, I mean, the big plays, plays of 20 yards or more. That's what they call big plays. Hey, we're talking 50-yard plays.
Scott Zolak, Bob Sosi with the call. That was really the kick in the crotch there. The extra point was added, and your final was 42-27 as the Patriots follow the Kansas City Chiefs to open the season here at Gillette Stadium. It's the Patriots post-game show presented by Xbox One. That's Jim Murray alongside Andy Hart and Paul Perillo and you at 855-PATS-500. That's the Ace Ticket hotline. And email webradio@patriots.com. And we'll check in with Victor in Virginia. What were your thoughts on tonight's loss, Victor?
I just had a couple of quick observations. The game kind of reminded me of the Seahawks game that we played last year, because it seemed like every time the ball went downfield, you were just cringing, and you know it's going to be 25, 30 yards because the secondary is just out of position, falling down, missing coverage, and it was just like dreadful to watch. The only difference was, in that game we had an offense to fight back with. But that's just a quick note on the defense. I think we need to sign a dedicated punt returner, because Danny Amendola does not have the durability to field punts and play wide receiver. I mean, he was a limited use wide receiver last year. He took a pay cut to come back this year because he was not supposed to be used as much. But I don't think we can have him back there fielding punts all season. He's not going to last. I mean, he lasted one game. He's already in concussion protocol.
I actually agree with that. Yeah, I think he'd be fine if he was the full-time punt returner, but not if he's going to be a full-time receiver too. I think that's a good point.
And luckily, that's one position that you literally can't pull a guy off another squad and just slot him in and say you're going to field punts. I mean, it's not a formation thing. It's not a, it's not a thing where you need to have been in this system for years to do it well. It's just find someone with good hands and who can give us a few yards, not fumble the ball. And that's it. You can't have Dola back there fielding. I know he wants to do it, and I know if you tell him to do it, he will do it. But his body is not. He's not going to be able to do that for 16 games, and especially not in the postseason.
Victor, I would agree with you. I'm a Paul on that too. Even before the injury, just with the hits he was taking, that they had him back there, I was like, he's going to last a month tops, and here he is.
And it was hard to watch because he's always had where he misses games because he gets hurt, and to have him back there and to shoulder that workload. But I don't know, there's too many bright spots tonight, but I like to watch certain players' body language and how they look on the sidelines, how they look on the field. And the one kind of thing that caught my eye was Tom Brady threw that illegal forward pass, and instead of pounding the ground and getting mad at himself, he was just he had that sheepish grin like that. That was kind of stupid. But
Andy and I noticed that
made
too.
me feel like he wasn't. It doesn't seem like kind of a game he's going to go home and kill himself over, rack his brains. How did we lose? And it just, I didn't get that from his body language.
Yeah, I actually
see it differently.
saw that quite differently. It kind of pissed me off because I thought he was getting pissy with everybody else effing up, and he F's up, and it's like a smirk.
Yeah, I agree.
Why do you get to smirk when you F up, and when we screw up, it's like the world ended? I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Well, that's that Dan Marino-ish type of behavior that you've seen before.
Your fault.
Yeah.
My bad.
It was 2013 when
I don't care for that.
Guys like Dobson that he was throwing to. You can see the frustration.
Like, I think there are
going
some
on
guys
over.
that can pull that off because when you screw up, they'll sort of laugh it off. But he's only laughing off his, not anybody else's. I didn't care for it. He had a bad night. Everybody had a bad night. Let's move on.
Well,
I feel like you need to bury something. You bury balls, maybe.
You bury it.
This
and then
feels
you
like a
bury the
bury
shuttle.
game.
Yeah,
Bury this.
Bury it all.
Yep. Bury the stadium.
I'm sure that head coach Bill Belichick feels the same way. If you have yet to hear his post-game press conference, here is head coach Bill Belichick after tonight's loss to the Kansas City Chiefs.
We didn't really do much of anything wrong enough tonight to deserve a win. We gave up 42 points. Stopped on 4 short yardage plays. Got to coach better. Got to practice better. Got to play better. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, that's obvious. So we'll have to get back to work and see if we can improve pretty much everything. Just not good enough. Andy, Kansas City did a good job. Give them credit. But we just really weren't competitive enough, especially on offense and defense. Just made too many mistakes and didn't play well on top of that. Fundamentals weren't good enough. Really nothing was good enough. So we all got to do a better job. That's going to be pretty much the answer to every question because that's what it was.
Tom said the team lacked urgency tonight. What did you see in the team's attitude tonight?
Yeah, whatever he said, let's go with that one.
Bill, on the two big plays given up for touchdowns, what did you see from the sideline that contributed to those?
Bad defense, bad coaching, bad plan, bad football.
On the 4th and 1s, the two that were stopped, is that a play where Tom can sneak that if he sees it, or was that covered up from what you saw that the sneak wasn't the best option on those plays?
We ran the play that we thought was the best. I'm sure everybody has another play that could have been run. We did what we thought was best, didn't work out.
Bill, how much did you think the momentum changed when Gronk isn't able to hold on to that touchdown in the end zone? It seemed like Kansas City kind of really responded pretty well after that.
I don't know. It's 17-7. 2 minutes ago and a half and give up a 90-yard touchdown drive. So, I mean, look, there was problems all over the place. So.
Coach, how do you use a loss like this to bounce back?
Well, I don't know. We need to go in there. We need to, so like I said, there's a lot of things we need to work on. We need to get to work. We need to improve them. So it's a pretty lengthy list. That's all we'll do.
Close to the goal line, 3 touchdowns for Mike Gillislee. What was your thoughts on the goal line running and the blocking it close to the goal line?
I was disappointed. We had 2 other times where we couldn't get the ball in the right area. So, I mean, look, we did a few things, but it just wasn't good enough.
The defensively playing with, it seemed like a lot of 6 defensive backs, if we would count Jordan as a defensive back, even though he was playing probably closer to the line of scrimmage. Was that, how much of that was based on Alex Smith's ability to extend plays with his feet to get more speed on the field? Was that part of the thought process of playing with more 60 backs in the game?
I mean, well, there's a lot of players. They had 5 receivers on the field. So, I mean, 4 receivers and Kelsey.
Bill, are there parallels to draw between this loss and the one in 2014 to the Chiefs? Obviously lost an important offensive player late in the preseason in Julian. Can it sometimes take a team a few weeks to bounce back from that, maybe adjust on offense?
I don't know. I mean, the season started, so everybody's playing with what they're playing with right now.
Did you see anything from the young kids up front on defense, Adam Butler and Dietrich Wise, just in the snaps they had for you and the rush packages, it looked like? Anything stand out to you with what they did in there?
We'll look at it on film. If it's good, we'll tell them it was good. If it needs to be corrected, then we'll correct it.
How about, probably not ideal to have the 2 comers, Cassius and Phillip, playing as much as they did, but circumstances maybe dictated that. What have you seen from their approach to just allow them to at least be competitive in a regular season game situation after just getting here 5-6 days ago?
Like everybody else, we all have a lot of work to do, and I would put certainly the players who are new here into that category. But I'd put everybody in that category. Every player, every coach, we have a lot of work to do. So that's what we need to do.
Coach, with the extended time between now and New Orleans, will you have a regular schedule for a game week or change things up based on the performance, or how are you adjusting with 10 days between games instead of just 7?
We'll do what we think is best for the team to get ready to go for New Orleans.
This is a team that usually doesn't give up a lot of big plays. At least they didn't last year. You guys, was there anything specific you noticed on those big plays? Poor tackling, technique, discipline?
Sure, there are a lot of things that contributed to it. There's plenty of them. Okay, thanks.
Well, that was uncomfortable. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, after tonight's brutal loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, again 42-27 was the final. One of the questions there was about big plays, and a lot of bad stats coming out of this game. In 307 games with Bill Belichick, including the playoffs, it's the most points they've ever allowed. It's the most total yards, and it's the most 75-plus yard drives. 3 drives of 90 yards plus in this game, again by Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's look ahead, fellas. The next game in New Orleans, 9 days from now, against the Saints, Drew Brees, and that high-powered offense, or at least one of the better quarterbacks in the league. When you look at guys like Jordan Richards, who played far too much for my taste, and a gentleman by the name of Cassius Marsh, who really shouldn't be out there in the first place, and other, just guys that it's like, who? I mean, look, if one team is going to figure this thing out and be able to pull off a win on the road in a place that's somewhat difficult to play, or a place that they certainly got pantsed in a game of 2009 in that awful Monday night game. But right now, I mean, can you blame me for not feeling all that good about it? The way that they looked tonight defensively?
No, I'll tell you who didn't feel that good about it. It was Bill Belichick. And he often says outcoached, outplayed, but they truly were. This was a good, honest assessment. They have a lot of work to do. They have a lot to figure out. I used the word introspection in one of my things here. I think there's a lot going on, and we make too much of it as analysts, but I also think NFL seasons can quickly go right, and they can quickly go wrong. And you're at a very, very, very early crossroad. I mean, we don't see the Patriots go 0-2 out of the gates. We don't see the Patriots have losing streaks, right? They bounce back.
Right. Very rare.
But it's a challenge. You're going on the road. You're going to face a Hall of Fame quarterback. You're giving up big plays consistently dating back to the preseason and now into the regular season. I mean, there are concerns.
Yeah, and one of the things that you would feel a lot of comfort with in a game like this is that the Saints are really, really bad defensively. But you wonder, based on what you saw offensively at times tonight. Now, I thought they got off to a tremendous start in the game offensively. They looked every bit like we all thought they would, and then it kind of bogged down. So you wonder, are they equipped offensively to be winning a 38, 27 kind of game against New Orleans? Because I think New Orleans will move the ball and have opportunities to score points.
Yeah,
Now,
so do I.
If they're efficient, well, I thought that before tonight.
Yeah, me too. Now more than ever.
If they're efficient offensively, the Saints, I mean, you just look what the Chiefs did tonight. I mean, putting up 6 touchdowns. They were efficient in close, and they were efficient from outside. I mean, I think they had 3 red zone trips, and they had 3 long touchdowns or 3 long plays. I don't know if you're equipped offensively yet. I don't know if they know exactly what they're going to be. I go back to what we talked about right off the top in the bad. Even when Amendola was playing and he looked every bit like Edelman, 6 catches for 100 yards, darting around the underneath routes and blah, 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 they still seem to be chucking it deep a lot.
Yep.
Tonight. And I don't know if that's
just
something.
Doesn't make any sense.
Do they just want to do it? Do they want to put that on film so everybody's looking at it? Look, hey, we got these guys now. You watch. And, hey, we're going to get Dorsett in there, too, in a couple of weeks. And we're going to do that, and I just don't know if that's ever been Tom's strength.
No.
And not necessarily. I'm not talking about arm strength before people, he could still throw. I know he can still throw. But I think his strength is his accuracy and his ability to read the defense and find the opportunity, find the matchups that best suit him. Not like just chucking it willy-nilly like he did tonight. They must have attempted more passes of 20 yards or more in the air in this game than they do in like 5 games, really. And I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. Now, maybe it was something about Kansas City that they saw and they missed. I don't know. We'll find out. Obviously that's why it's great that 15 games still to go.
Well, by the way, I also won't be stunned if they go to New Orleans and just put up 45 points and
I won't.
Look great offensively, make a couple big plays on defense or whatever. I mean, it's not time to give up. On my bad list is Butler, McCourty, and Gilmore, but they could easily be on my good list next week with a couple picks and big plays.
Absolutely. I think Ollie, though, said it best in his email. He's writing this morning from Moscow saying, tonight was eye-opening. While I think the Patriots will be fine in the end, there needs to be a real quick adjustment on both sides of the ball. New Orleans likely going to put up points next week.
In Russia, you play like that. They send you Siberia. Come back.
That's going to do it.
Was that Russian? Was that close?
Close enough.
It was closer than your normal ones. I'll give you that.
That's going to do it for us as we wrap up the Patriots post-game show presented by Xbox One. For Paul Perillo, Andy Hart, producer Kevin Collins, and Matt LePan, I'm Jim Murray. This has been the Patriots post-game show presented by Xbox One. Show returns for week 2. When the Patriots take on the Saints in New Orleans at the Superdome. Enjoy the rest of your evening, morning. Goodbye.
And don't forget to sub up. I'm going to be heading on out. I will be doing some kind of NFL gaming radio Sunday. I'll probably do maybe 1 to 2 games depending on how that day goes. But I will definitely do a gaming live radio that day. And yeah. I'll catch y'all later. Sub up. Check out all the other shit we got on the channel. And make sure to have a great day or night, all in 24 hours. Hopefully the Patriots do better next week. And all you Kansas City Chiefs fans fucking definitely got a lot to look forward to. Because goddamn, man, the Kansas City Chiefs look fucking just like, they look like a goddamn Super Bowl type of team right now. If they continue to play like that the rest of the season, definitely guaranteed playoffs. But holy shit, man. Take care of y'all, and I'm out.